overwhelming, I would say, to have 3 toddler, kids in those crowds. It's just like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't even like being in big crowds like that myself.
No, we don't do the crowds. No, we don't do GA.
We don't
guys.
crowd.
We don't GA.
I've been hearing about
VIP.
right? It's like I can or bust.
GA.
I know you're
I kind
used
of am that way. Like, I would not go to Coachella unless I was like had some awesome kind of backstage situation.
Yeah.
Not like in a bougie, like I'm better than everyone. Just I don't want to stand in a big crowd like that.
Paid my dues. I low key have, fear of big crowds. And, at Bonnaroo this year, I never know if I'm going to Bonnaroo. Never know. But then at the end of the weekend, I end up with like 4 wristbands. I'm like, okay, thanks. It works out. But I'm like, man, I can't actually go and be at a festival like amongst the people unless I'm like intentionally wanting to have that experience in that moment. Otherwise, it's like I want to see the show and I want to see the onstage and offstage moments. Actually, Faye Webster, I saw her at Bonnaroo, and then I saw her offstage moment with her partner or whoever, and it was like the sweetest thing. And I was just like, oh man, like it's those moments that I'm in this business for.
That's the show.
And yeah, that's the show. But it wasn't like a show. It was just like that moment, the why. It was like, oh, that feels so good. And like there was no press, there's no social media. It was nothing. It was just like that moment. I was like, oh.
That's nice.
She was so excited after she had played her set. And she like ran and jumped up and gave her partner a hug. And it was like the sweetest thing.
Who is this person? I've never even heard of. Faye what?
Faye Webster.
Never heard of her.
Oh, wow.
You know her?
No,
She's great.
I don't know.
All right.
She's really great.
I'll have a listen.
And very,
I don't work
very
with her,
embracing of her partner as well.
It'd be fun to work with her sometime, maybe.
Shout out to Faye. Who else did you see at Bonnaroo?
Key Glock.
Never heard of them.
Okay.
Key Glock?
Key Glock.
Okay. Sounds like a rapper or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rapper. That was my
Nice.
first time seeing him. It was great.
Cool.
Who else? Post Malone.
How was that?
It was great. Yeah, he was a little drunk, I think. I don't know. I think he
Nice.
did chug 2 red solo cups of something. So it got rowdy, but it was really, he had so many fireworks.
Huh.
Yeah.
How'd it get rowdy? Like, what's him being rowdy?
Like kind of forgetting the lyrics.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of rowdy.
That's
to
cool.
me.
Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy for him.
Real comfortable.
Yeah.
Really relaxed.
Yeah. How was that moment? We never talked about the Post Malone Steve-O moment.
When he got the tattoo? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, before he took the stage, he was...
Thank you.
Thank you. Mail.
Mail's here.
Oh, did it hit that camera? That camera might have just moved.
Not
Well, whatever.
sure.
We'll find out in the
Thank
edit. Yeah, I mean, before he came on stage, he was drinking beers, tattooing a dick on Steve-O's face.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it went well. I mean, I didn't get to go
Yeah.
because it like was a quick thing. It was kind of, we were all a little worried, like, what if it doesn't happen? We don't want to just like roll up with like 10 people and have it be like, whoa, guys, this is actually,
Yeah.
we're not doing it.
Yeah.
So Steve just took his one tattoo buddy, and then
Mike Santa Fe.
named Mike Santa Fe. Shout out.
Wow,
Thank
great
you.
name.
Yeah, Mike
Right?
Santa Fe. Guess where he's from?
Albuquerque.
Kind of, actually. That's where they know each other. It's from Albuquerque. But yeah. And then Steve just like had Mike film it, handed a camera to Billy Strings. Billy Strings filmed a lot of that.
Oh my, I love Billy.
Yeah.
I love Billy Strings too. I just became a fan like within the last year.
Oh, he's so great.
And that was a VIP experience. And it does
Yeah.
make you fall in love with him more when you get like up close and personal.
Yes. Oh, he's so sweet. I don't know him personally. I've never actually been close, but I did check out his show at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was just so great to see him in this huge arena, and people were just loving it. And it was like the first half of the show, the first set was like psychedelic and really trippy, and then the second set was like pretty tradish. And I was like, okay, show us that
Nice.
range.
Nice.
I loved it. I saw him at the Greek,
So
and it was beautiful.
so
You
talented.
said his fan base is like rabid.
They
like
seemed
super
like
fans.
legitimate. They were
Almost like
they were
Deadheads, but
Seriously,
for-
Oh,
giving
yeah.
me that vibe. Just like
Billy Boys.
committed. You could tell they
Yeah.
were just having the time of their life. But I get it. I made
Yeah.
a playlist after like Bit of Peace or some corny thing like that in my car, and like
That's like what
just,
came to
flooded
you.
with Billy String songs. Now
A
He's
Bit
just-
of Peace.
and then I started listening to him a lot. Like they were on American Airlines as some of the in-flight listening options, and I got really excited to see them there.
Wow, I
I
gotta
know.
get on that.
Right?
That's great.
That's a good
I gotta get that
gig to
connect.
get on the airlines when they're trapped.
That's really,
Scanning.
Yeah.
How about there's not much
How do we
per
get music
genre.
on there? You know?
Yeah, right?
honestly, man, the music that they decide to play forcefully while everybody's trying to leave the airplane is almost triggering to me.
Do they play music?
On American?
Man, I don't know if it's on America. I was just on Delta. I think maybe they did it. And I was like, whoa, like this is triggering.
Like elevator music, but on a plane.
It was like
We don't
pop
need
music.
that.
And like, I'm sure it would have been great in another setting, but I was just like, this is not a good experience.
No,
little
that's a
much.
moment when I feel like people's claustrophobia
Yeah.
starts to set in, where they're like, "Why aren't people moving?"
Yeah.
And there starts to be a little panic.
And the music starts
everybody's
going
eager.
like doom, doom,
We don't
like
need
it really
that.
intense. And I'm like, wow, we don't need that. Yeah.
We don't need this. Yeah, we just landed.
Yeah.
We're happy to be alive. We don't want anything. Yeah, I get nervous in crowds like that. Like people are unpredictable. You know, like
Yeah.
a crowd could turn and like just start killing each other. Like it's scary. I don't
know,
like it. I get
I-
weirded out.
I agree. And actually, I read this recently. It's who said it? I'm trying to remember who said it. But basically, our collective consciousness actually goes down the larger the crowd
Makes sense.
that there is, which does make sense when you think about it. Like when you're, at least for me, like experiencing those huge festivals like side stage every once in a while, and I look out at the crowd and you just see so many people just like rabid, be like "Ah," and like singing every lyric, which is amazing. I'm also like low-key like, okay, like that scares me a little bit too.
Yeah, it's like all fun and games until it's not. You
Yeah.
know, a lot can go wrong.
Like I
out
really
there.
hope nothing
Yeah.
goes wrong. I'm so glad everybody's having a good time and that you know, but then I'm like, everybody kind of looks the same right now. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and like in a crowd,
a weird
fear
experience.
fear is way more contagious than like peace. It's like if like one corner of the crowd starts like freaking out and they're like, oh my God, ah," like that's just gonna like everyone's gonna freak out. Versus if one corner of the crowd is like everything's okay, like it's not necessarily gonna affect everybody else. You know, like it's creepy. I don't know. I get a little
Yeah.
nervous in crowds these days.
When did that show up for you?
I don't know.
Did something happen?
It's a good question. No, not particularly.
Yeah.
I just get a little
Maybe it's
nervous.
just the media.
I mean,
I had
you know,
a bad experience.
maybe
at
the
crowd one.
media. I mean, I went to like a BLM protest when it was like, you know, that summer.
Yeah.
And there was just a point where I was like, okay, like I'm out. It's like definitely starting to turn. Like people are getting a little like angry. Like, why would
Yeah.
I stay? I don't
Yeah.
want to be here.
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And I just left.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know if I had fear of crowds before that. But like, yeah, you could just kind of feel it turning, and it's just like scary beast. You know, people do weird, and then people start behaving in ways that they just never would.
Right.
Most people would never like smash a person's car or something like that.
Right.
But like in that group, people are capable of anything.
Right. Wow.
Don't like it.
It is really interesting. I always find it fascinating that at these festivals, there can be such big crowds, and it's actually mostly amazing.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow.
it's a miracle.
But also just like the power of people, like what just happened in Miami at the Copa America, all those people that didn't have tickets that were just flooding into the game, and they were coming in from the air ducts and like trying everything and anything to get in, and
But they won. They got in.
and they did. They had to, because they didn't want people to get trampled.
Wow.
And they like couldn't contain it, so they had to let people in and then scan tickets and like check on people after that, which is I think pretty unheard of, but.
Yeah, it was a shit show. I heard like crazy,
Yeah.
and people started fighting and pushing each other, and it just got boiled over.
Wow. And that's interesting too, like society kind of making the rules in that scenario. But like, yeah, I think a lot of people are at their breaking points. You know, I think something's
Something's a brewing.
something's a brewing. But my psychic did say that something great was going to happen.
And then Donald Trump got shot in the ear. No, I don't think it's good that he got shot in the ear, even though I don't like him. But we don't have to talk about that necessarily. But okay, so Steve was dick
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah, let's come back to that.
So yeah, and then he came home that night. We all went to bed super early because we ran a triathlon the next day, or like a mini triathlon.
Yeah.
But he gets home at like 3 a.m. Like he just didn't sleep. And
So
then
he was there. He was at the show, and he ended up staying and hanging
at the
out?
show. No, we didn't stay and hang out. He didn't stay for the performance.
Oh, okay.
He got the tattoo and he got out because
Okay.
he had like a drive to get back
Right.
to wherever he lives.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so anyway, and then he said he just laid awake like, what the fuck? Like, I just gotta, like, he was just kind of amped from the experience, you know, like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then, next thing you know, we had to run a triathlon, and then he beat all of us.
Oh my God, are you serious?
He didn't beat like everybody, but he beat our whole group.
He's amazing.
It's pretty
He
impressive.
is really an inspiration.
He's a damn determined man.
He's a damn determined man. It kind of pissed me off. I was really trying to beat him.
Yeah.
But he beat me.
You did great though.
He beat me
You
by
trained
5
so
minutes.
hard. You still
I was
won.
second.
You did train. I remember you saying that.
Oh
I was
yeah,
training.
you're still on a good roll, but
I'm on a good roll. Yeah, it got me like.
He was like crazy for a minute. He's like, I went swimming, I went to the gym, I walked, I ran today. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I woke
physical
up
things.
and made breakfast.
Yeah, like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I got pretty into it, and I
simmer
really
down
wanted
there.
to beat him. But it is what it is. I'm proud of myself. I'm
That
happy
is
I did
definitely
it.
something to be proud of, especially in our age.
Yeah, but
At
he's
his age.
fucking 50 years old. You know.
That's insane. I really hope that that's my story too. But the only way for that to be my story at 50, that I'm like kicking it, and doing well, like physically, is if I do it now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh,
Gotta
man.
start now.
It's
But
that
do
consistency.
something now. Like
I walk.
You know.
I walk.
That's great.
I walk with my dog, and I do have a YMCA membership, and I do go like 2-3 times a week, sort of.
Okay.
It's a lot.
So that's a lie.
Yeah.
How often do you actually?
Maybe 2. Kind of 1.
I've been there once when I signed up.
Yeah.
No, we did that. We went to a pool.
I was gonna say,
we
that
signed
happens.
up. And we were like, great, what a great summer we're gonna have. We went 0 times.
Yeah.
Never
that was a
even got in
mistake.
the water.
Never
Well,
did it.
It was a donation.
We paid to support the community.
It was a donation.
center.
And that's what it is. Yeah. It's a community donation. I mean, would I like
Shouldn't
go
be, though.
hang out there at the pool? I want to, but I don't want to. There's a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
You know,
kids.
I'm trying to
Kids
get
at
in
a
that
pool.
teeny keeny. I'm not trying to be someone's, weird fantasy. I just want to lay out and
You don't
not
wanna
get
be
tan lines.
Yeah.
Wendy Peppercorn over here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of like, I agree. We should like be laying some foundation for like
Yeah.
our futures.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
even just a little yoga, a little, just like keep it moving. Don't decline.
Yeah.
Increase.
That's
in
where
some
I'm
way.
at. That's where I'm at right now. Like I'm at setting the foundation for like how I want to live my life and how I want it to feel later. And like, it's like, for example, friends. It's really easy for me, and I think for y'all too. It's really easy to make friends, I think, new friends. And to like be like, oh, that person's really cool. I want to spend some time with them. And then they reach out to you, and then all of a sudden you're like hanging out more. And then you're like, oh wait, but like I'm not really seeing like my other friends. How do I incorporate new friends and old friends? And I think I have made so many amazing new friends lately that I'm like, you're part of my old friends circle now. Like, even though it's only been like 6 months, we're there. But now I feel like I'm at a good capacity where I'm like, okay, I want to just lay the foundation with all of these people in this chapter of our lives, and just put time towards that, which is actually then trickled into dating, because then I started to see dating differently. And I was like, okay. Instead of like being nervous or maybe excited about going on a date, I'm like, actually going on this date is taking this really precious time away from like all these other people I really love. So it has to be even more intentional on the dating side. So that's actually like, it's all kind of filtered. And I just wish I could like copy and paste that into the workout fitness part of life.
Like that same ambition.
Yeah. Foundation to intention.
I know. I struggle with
So
that too. It
hard.
is hard. But yeah, I think just little things.
Yeah.
Paul, I feel like that's one of the big keys to your success. You do like little pieces. You get all excited. You make your list. You get jazzed when you cross it off the list.
Oh yeah,
You, like, found what works for
drink
you,
coffee
you know?
on my to-do list.
Really?
Just
He's,
because
like,
it
so
feels
specific.
good.
It gives you a little dopamine hit.
Feels good to go through your day just checking
Yeah.
shit off, and
My
you're always
s-
like, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
My sister's like that.
Make coffee, check my email.
Yeah.
Oh great, now it's time to go to the gym.
But when does it get to a point where you can't do something until you've added it to your list?
No, but
Yeah,
sometimes
Sometimes I do that and then I'm frustrated. Like, oh, it's not on the list.
Yeah.
I won't be able to cross it
Right.
off.
sometimes I'll write something on the list after I did it. I'll write it and I'll cross it off.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, I've
Like
done
after
that
I've
before.
already done it. It's like, oh, I checked my email, but I didn't even put that on the list. Email.
I used to
Cross it
do
off. It
lists
feels
all
good.
the time, and then I have just this year. I used to get. Last year, I used to have those black and white like composition notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
I filled out every single page with a list that I had to do that day. Everything. This year, I have completely foregone the list. I'm
Did you run out of
literally.
did you run out of pages? You
Well-
just need this girl needs a new notebook. Get this girl a notebook.
It's Amazon Prime Day. You know.
It is.
It is today
Actually-
and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we're like a
2
Prime
days.
ad-
Have you guys seen the
advertisement.
Megan Thee Stallion Amazon Prime video? It's so good. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion.
Shout out, Meg.
She's amazing. That video is amazing. You got to check it out.
All right.
But so with your to-do list,
Yeah,
feels like
to-do
you're
list.
having a really productive year.
Oh
though.
my God, it's so productive. And I've foregone the to-do list.
So maybe the to-do list isn't really
so
necessary.
You know
to
how it's changed my way of doing things, because if what I've realized, like, yeah, like I do forget stuff now, but it's because it's not the main priority. So I'm like, okay, if I have forgotten to do something, it's still a priority, but it's not the main like 3. And that's really helped me be like, okay, I have to like get these things done. And like, I don't know, it's just made things there's a lot more like flow, I think, happening.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, I
not
mean, it
like
seems
so,
like it's working.
because I can get a little perfectionist and I can get in the weeds and I can like really drill down, and then I end up just doing too much. I'm just doing too much. And it's usually like for other people, which I love to do, but I'm like, now I'm building my business. And so I'm like, I have to really just like do what's going to be best for my stuff first, because then I can help them. But yeah, so I've just foregone the lists, which is, it feels like anarchy.
It's chaos,
Whatever
It
works.
feels like chaos.
but it's
Yeah.
working.
It is working
Yeah.
for now.
So yeah, for now.
Nothing's
And then
forever.
Maybe it won't. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like the list. I'll do the list. I'm like killing on the list, and then I get a little greedy and I put like way too much things on the list. Then I have multiple days in a row where things keep moving to the next day and to the next day, and then I'm like, I need to either abandon the list for a few days or just put like 2 things on there, so at least I'm doing my whole list.
Yeah.
You know, because like there's something about feeling like I did everything.
All
Yeah.
today.
psychological warfare
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta,
It's
No, no,
it's
it's
like
great.
it's like it is one of those things where it also kind of like, it's so brave of you to talk about your list,
Oh, my.
because I feel like it's one of those things where people don't really talk about how much they
Right.
put on their
Be
list.
brave. Talk about list on my list. Girls know.
I know. I think we're all just trying to figure out like what the best system is for ourselves. Like, we were trained a certain way and then we're like, that doesn't work. We didn't fit in that box, and now we're trying different things. Like, I always thought I was going to be a list person. Right? I think you're a list person or you're a not list person. Right? But I'm like on the list, but I'm not a list person. I was on the list last
Yeah.
night at the Troubadour. It
Who'd you
was
see?
such a great show. Sawyer Hill.
Never heard of them either.
So, brand new band from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Okay.
Kind of like they're rock, but he has this like real bassy voice, beautiful voice. What's so interesting is that they blew up on TikTok, and then it converted to Spotify, and then the place sold out last night. It was their first LA. Well, they played School Night before, but this is like their first real LA play, and everyone was singing the lyrics, and I was like, wow, the true power of the internet, you know, and TikTok, and of course Spotify, but you know.
Sure.
It is just fascinating to me, like the psychology behind everything. I was standing at the upper tier area, and by the way, shout out to Jordan Anderson for the tickets. It was so sweet, and it was like so nice. When you take care of your people, and it's just really nice. But
Yeah.
I was just watching everybody. So of course, watching the band, but then I was like, what's happening, you know, in the crowd? And it was such a mixed bag of people, just very diverse age and you know, everything. And I was just like, wow, this is so good. And everybody was singing the lyrics. And I was like,
amazing.
wow. So that is like a positive thing, you know, in all of the internet
There's a lot of positive
stuff.
in the internet.
Yeah. I think so too.
For
I
sure.
do. I'm leaning
You
into
can reach
it.
the masses now. That was never an option.
Yeah, like without a
Yeah.
giant record label or something, you know, like, yeah, I think it's awesome.
I'm definitely like, so I have a business coach, and he's 21 years old.
Okay.
His name's Blake
Shout out to
Thompson.
Blake.
And he's awesome. But I met him, and then he was starting his business, coaching business. And I was like, you know what? I love finding like young rock stars in any industry. I'm just like, you're a rock star, you know? and so we started working together, and he was kind of figuring out what he was doing. And then he has just grown so much, and he's such a great coach. And he's 21 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's my business coach. You know, where he's like really getting me, I have to have a real open mind because he's like really pushing me towards like online business space, which I love. I think there's so much to do there. And at the same time, there's this like very traditional artist manager side of me too. So right now you're seeing me at sort of the there's a fork in the road. I'm coming up to the fork in the road where I'm like, what path do I take? Because they're kind of different. But I'm also like, can they be merged?
Yeah, I'm sure you can do a hybrid.
So wait, talk to me about your approaches. What are the two approaches? What are the paths?
The online business space is more like, I mean, it's kind of influencer type. And like you build out your process and everything you want to share in like an online forum, and you build community, and you do more light touches with a lot of people, and then it's almost like open source information. You give them information, valuable information, and then they use it and share with each other, and it's just like this beautiful thing that can happen. And so it would look more like a funnel. Like you would come to my Instagram, and then you would go to my website, you would watch my video, and then you would like buy my, product that I put a lot of work into. Maybe you would buy it for a flat fee or like a monthly, and then you would like learn how to put your record out all on your own. And then maybe I could, maybe people would want one-on-one coaching, and then I would like offer that.
Mm-hmm. So you're like a free resource publicly to like, say 1 million people, a certain percent go to your website, a certain percent actually buy the service. And then it boils down to like, that's your clientele.
Thing. And then you offer it at a very reasonable rate. It just reaches more people so that you're making great money and people aren't paying that much and they're getting great value. So I think more people are doing that than like one-on-one high ticket consulting.
The other road.
The other road is more high ticket consulting, which is not artist management. Artist management's a percentage of, everything the artist makes. That's even harder to do. It has to be more selective. But the project management piece that I kind of found myself in was like this niche where artists aren't on labels anymore, or they have never been on a label, but they have a great record. They want to put it out. They're eager. They want to take charge of their business. So they hire me, and I basically project manage, work for hire manager for them, and help them get their record out. I also distribute the record as well. So that's kind of a 2-for-1 thing. And I offer it at a price that they feel is high value enough where they have to really show up and be accountable. But it's less expensive than hiring a publicist. It's less expensive than anything else they're going to pay for, and they get the most value out of it because I'm the person that they're talking to more than anybody else. And I love that because it's higher touch, and like I really get to be part of the creative process with them. But it is, I wouldn't be able to take on as many people, and it's just so there's that.
So in the other road, once they get down, the certain percentage that actually wants to buy a product from you, it's like a pre-taped thing.
Yeah.
So they're not getting the personal. They're not talking to you on the phone. It's like, I'll download this.
Or like a PDF that you pay for in an Amazon shop that you don't even pay to print.
Like a masterclass or something. Like
we all need these things. We
it's
need
a video.
These guides.
So, that road is passive income.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
Couldn't you do kind of both? Like there is that route.
Yeah.
And for certain people, like you got the full blown, like there's a mixing like channel, audio mixing channel that I follow where they put out YouTube videos that everybody watches. Then they do host like sort of a paid subscription masterclass thing. But then also there's like, you can pay this guy for like a one-on-one. He'll listen to your mix. He'll give you notes, like one-on-one time with this guy.
What's he charging?
I have no idea.
Probably like $7.50 an hour.
I'm the free part of it. I just listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
But you could kind of do that, right?
I know. And
I mean, tiered like a pricing is great for customers because it funnels in more people. You can just.
I think I
offer a range.
I'm still in that space where I care about what people think about me.
It's hard not to.
I'm still there where I'm like, because I still feel like I have something to prove in
to
business.
Who?
Just to the music industry.
Okay.
Because no one in Nashville knows that I sing.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Sing us a little something. No, just kidding.
You want me to sing Ave Maria? No, I'm not going to sing on
I've heard it. It's good.
You've heard it. You guys know that I came from there. Like I was the singer, you know.
You were singing. We were in a band
I was literally
together
the singer in your band, in our band.
And you were the singer.
Yeah, it was me and Daniel and
Jordan. Shout out.
Was Jordan singing too?
No, well, he would sing a little bit.
Yeah, but Jordan was in the
he was in the band.
He was the one
cute,
that
guys.
Okay, so we were in our hall, you know, the red wall
Yes.
in our hall, and I remember coming out of choir, and he came out of band practice. Band, is it called band?
Well, jazz band. It would have been.
Yeah.
For Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were coming out, and Jordan in his Jenkos. I remember.
Oh, he probably had like 7 jeans on. Back then.
Yeah. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey," and he was so cool. He was like, "Hey, you know, I don't even know. I felt so like special." But it was sophomore year, and he was like, "Do you want to like come and sing in our band?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I would take the bus home with you guys on Tuesdays. Remember?
I do.
Yeah.
We'd go to Daniel's house.
Yep.
We'd drink Izzy's.
Izzy's
and
and snacks. But then we would get the the naughty snacks at Jordan's house.
Yeah, we'd go to Jordan's for like a fruit roll up.
Yeah, we'd have to go quick.
Yeah, you gotta get out of there before.
It was in and out.
Everyone comes home.
And then
You have to like eliminate any
Pop-Tarts.
trace of your presence.
No
also.
trace.
Yeah.
No trace. And then we would go to Daniel's and we would have Izzy Pops, and then we'd go into the basement and we would just play the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
Which song?
Rolling like a stone. Remember that?
Stone. Yeah, I mean, they were actually
I
pretty
ain't
good
got
songs.
No backbone. I feel like that was the only song I remember.
There was
What was the other? I think there were 2 then. Because remember we recorded it with my piano teacher?
yeah, so that actually was a really like formative experience for me. You brought in your piano teacher who was in
He was
in like audio engineering
Yes.
school at the time.
Yes.
He brought a friend.
Yep.
We recorded a little demo. And I had never
In the
recorded
bathtub.
anything. We did
Some of it,
vocals. Like they put the microphone in the bathtub because
Yep.
there was like a really nice acoustic.
Reverb, yeah.
And even just watching him like go through and, you know, like let's say the singer sang a line and then stopped for a while and then sang a line. So there's like this empty space. He like grabbed it, deleted that empty space. And like, I just never seen any of that, anything at all like that. He also gave us a lot of, he's like, play quieter, like
Yeah.
play quiet. It
Yeah.
should sound good quiet. You don't need to play loud. Like listen to each
Kinda
other
produced
better.
it a little bit, yeah.
He produced it a little bit and I'd never seen that like other than in jazz band
Yeah.
where you do learn these things,
Yeah.
listen to each other and stuff like that. But that was the first like recording experience.
Recording's
Ever.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Matthew Muniz. He was my piano teacher.
We call him Matthew Manus.
Manus.
Manus the goose.
Muniz. I didn't ever hear that nickname.
Oh, well,
Does he know
maybe
it?
we kept it to ourselves. I doubt he knows.
My mom found him in the classifieds in the newspaper.
Amazing.
And she called and was like, "Yeah, you're going to be a good fit for my daughter." And he came over. He was so sweet. And he taught me how to write music. And I was writing like in the Fiona Apple style.
Love
Your
it.
songs were really good.
Yeah, right? I thought
Yeah.
so. They were like really complex songs, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he taught me how to play them and like how to do chords and stuff just so I can like sing along. And then he was the first person that got me into Bjork. He got me a
Oh, I
CD
love
for my
Bjork.
for a birthday or something. Yeah. He's like, "Here, check this out." And I was like, "Oh wow, it's really good." And then also I just love how that has a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Massive.
It's really cool.
I'm glad
I wish
to-
I would have had that experience
Yeah.
younger. That would have been awesome to
Yeah.
Singing and
be
stuff.
making music
Yeah.
then. But wow, that's so
We got
cool.
you eventually.
Yeah, you roped me in. Thanks
Everybody
for,
has their time,
Yeah.
for sure.
But that's so
Yeah.
cool.
'Cause
Because a
you-
long journey. And then
Yeah.
you still write like actively?
No.
Not so
That's
much.
so crazy, but I yearn for it every once in a while.
So
for
this
sure.
like you're trying to prove yourself. You want to prove that you can sing.
No.
Prove that you
So
can
you want to
manage.
prove that you can. That just you're here. You're
But
awesome,
I'm
and you're
just
doing
deserve
it.
to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just like you want to play in the same sandbox. You know,
Sure.
and you're like, am I worthy to be in the sandbox here?
I think we all feel that way.
Yeah.
And like,
But the answer is absolutely yes.
Yeah. I do also feel that too.
Of course.
You know?
You deserve to take up space. You know? Which is hard. I get it. It's
your
hard
world
to
too,
do.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's awesome. Yeah. And I think it's like having a great friend system also, like for when you forget, for when I forget, I call up my
Sure.
friends. I'm
Right.
like, ugh. And they're like, no, girl. Like, you're supposed to be here. You're good. It's same with breakups too. I'm like, do I love him? It's like, no, you do not. You do not love him. Move on. It's like, okay, we're good. We're back.
And I mean, community is big
We need
too
it.
because it's like, if I get down, like all the rest of my friends are still plowing forward. If they get down, I keep plowing forward. You keep plowing forward. Like we're kind of all in this together too. And like,
Yeah.
I think that's important to remember.
I think though that I do want to make music again. I think that I don't even have a piano in my house, which is crazy. His family hosted my piano, my family's heirloom piano, upright piano, at their house for like 3 years after I left for college. And yeah, and then your mom sent me a video of like this prodigy 8-year-old like playing the keys, and just she was like,
that?
I don't remember.
I don't even know. Your mom would know.
Yeah.
And she was like, would you consider selling it to them? They would love it. And she never had pressured me or asked me anything. Like, I'm so grateful to her because I didn't know what I was going to do with that thing. I was renting in Nashville. The thing was huge. And that's how I learned how to sing. I learned how to sing on that piano, and ivory keys, everything. And when she sent me that video, I was like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, I got to let it go. And then ever since then, I had a digital keyboard, and I just don't like playing on a digital keyboard unless it's a synth. And then I haven't even had a piano in the house.
Well, we should just make
time.
a little tune after this. We
Yeah,
should
let's
do
make
some
music today.
tunes just to
Whoa.
do a little fun.
I would love that.
It's, you know what? I can't believe I'm sitting across from you. You're
Really?
such a little delight. Look at this girl. Yes,
I feel
it's
like
so
no
fun to
time
have
has.
you here.
Oh, thank you. I feel like no time has passed too. Seeing you,
gosh.
I'm like, oh my god.
It's just good to see you. You always are such a little beam.
Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. I feel the same way about you too, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've always felt that about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, lots of good
people.
energy. Yeah, yeah. And now we found our way. We found our way back.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I know you guys are on a good roll too. You've been
Yeah.
working together.
we have.
Yeah.
How's it been going?
Fucking awesome. People ask me, it's the best.
Is it?
Like, yes. So, okay. For people listening, Michelle's been helping me release an album, and it's really become more of a manager role than just like, let's release this project and
Yeah.
move on. Like, and it's been awesome.
There's a lot
But
of
yeah,
strategy.
it's great. I mean, there's so much little shit. Sometimes it's just good to have somebody else involved, because like otherwise I would just give up and stop doing it, or like give
Totally.
myself an excuse like, I'll do this tomorrow. But like when it's like there's 2 people involved, like I feel more accountable. So there's that. But then plus you've just done a lot for me, helping me get things like dialed a little better. Got it released through the Orchard, which
Yeah.
was huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever like successfully launched something as well as this. So it's awesome. I'm learning a lot, and
Yeah.
I think it's going great.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun for me because, first of all, working with you is the best, and the music is great. So that's always like the bonus.
Thanks.
Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, you've definitely been kind of a guinea pig in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
And
you've been my guinea pig too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like I feel like even at that, it's been pretty smooth. You know, we found some kinks and then we've worked through them and all that stuff. And just like, I think that's been really fulfilling that like we can resolve, these like music issues that are so frustrating, and we're still working on some for sure. What was I going to say though? There was, I just lost it. It might have been this delicious French
The wine's
Trader
very
Joe
nice.
wine.
Very nice.
It is great. Trader Joe's wine department is unreal.
It's on point.
They just do such a great job.
This is good. I never used to enjoy white wine growing up. It was
I
like,
love
why would
it.
anyone drink white wine?
Yeah.
Perfect.
But now
in
I
summer.
really like
It's
white
nice.
wine.
And it's a
nice.
nice summer thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got really into it the year we went to Portugal.
Yeah, I
and
think that's when
Spain,
I got
and
into
that's
it
where to
too.
do it.
Oh, it was July and August, so hot.
Trotting around
Just
Europe, just drinking white wine.
So good.
It's better there.
It is. It doesn't seem as damning to
Yeah.
my brain and body there
Yeah.
for some reason. It's just
Plus,
a
you're
little
walking so much. It's like, let's
aperitivo.
pop in here, have
Yeah.
a drink. And like,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we'll keep walking. And then like, pop in here, have
I
a
mean,
beer.
I'm on a pretty tight schedule in Europe. 3-4 p.m. I'm having a prosecco.
Yeah, there you go. I know. What does this
And
mean?
I-
We're going to be
oh my
asleep
God,
by
we're
like
late.
4
Yeah.
o'clock.
Like every day, and I'll have a cappuccino in the morning, and I don't drink
okay.
coffee.
Oh, I drink a lot.
Yeah, you know,
Probably
you
too
drink
much
coffee?
these days.
I do
Been
tea
pushing it.
lattes. Tea lattes.
Nice. We love tea too.
Like a
we
matcha
mainly
latte?
do herbal decaf teas, like evening and like
that's
onward.
nice.
But
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been ending our nights with a little tea.
That's really nice. I'm more so a morning tea person. I'll make my latte. I usually do London Fog. And then in the evenings, I don't really do the wind down tea unless somebody is going to do it. It's sort of like a shared experience usually for me at night. But now that we're solo, we just take, we just
shit.
go to sleep.
Shot of whiskey
So
and just lay down.
Were you seeing someone for a little while?
I was seeing a couple of people.
Okay. But nobody's serious right now.
No.
Okay.
She's on the market, folks.
We are.
Heard it here.
God. This is like one of those old school like 80s videos where like you sit in front of the camera and you're just like, hi, my name's Michelle. I like to walk my dog. And I think the color purple is really cool. Also, I have a weird scratch on my back right now. Like, you know, when people like, you see those videos? Like,
oh man,
You'll see it later if you're lucky.
Yeah.
What's that show Next on MTV? Everybody gets off the bus and they have like the amazing
Next.
random facts about them, and they're just none of
I've
them are
never seen
relevant to dating whatsoever. It's just like aggressively weird.
I wonder,
I love
like,
it.
I wonder what like in real life, what my next
What they would be.
is going to be. Yeah.
'Cause you
like,
know,
what's
you'd
the
say-
thing that's going to interest me about
Wow.
the next person?
That'd be fun.
It's always different.
It's true.
Oh, it's always different. It's so interesting. Like,
You don't think you have a type?
I do love creatives. I do like creative people, and someone that's really ambitious, charismatic, and has a lot of drive. That is my person, and it could be about anything. If they're like starting a small business, or they're just like somebody that's really like passionate about what they're doing and like nerdy about it. I really like that.
Nice.
But usually because I live in Nashville, it's been mostly like actual like artist creatives, musician type creatives. I'm not dating artists, but I'm dating like, you know, session players, musicians and stuff, which I love. But at the same time, I'm like, oh man, it's clearly hasn't worked. So maybe
Musicians
it's time
are
to
tough.
shake it up. Yeah.
It's tough to date.
Yeah.
Christine certainly has she got to work it out for her over here. No.
Oh, well, what's the secret?
I mean, you got to be comfortable being alone. Ooh. You got to trust your partner a lot because
Yeah.
they're just out there in the world doing their thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think that's great. Like, I want that, you
Yeah.
know? I want to be able to have a lot of trust and my alone time. That's
Yeah.
not, it's all about communication, you know? Well, how does it work for you? So she said her thing. Now say something.
I mean,
Now you talk.
Your turn. That was beautiful, by the way.
Oh, sure.
I love it because, like, you two are my friends.
I know. Is it weird to see us together?
No,
As a
actually,
couple?
no.
Nice.
It's like, oh, this makes sense.
That's good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good, yeah.
Oh, it's
I
so
feel the
nice.
same way.
It's so nice.
Yeah, like, I wonder, you know?
Oh, yeah. No,
Maybe
when,
we surprise people. I don't know. Maybe
when the
we
news
make sense.
When the news broke, it was like, oh, yeah. When the PR hit
The news broke. Yeah.
Of
was
the
like-
engagement or of us just together?
together,
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is gonna. I was like, oh, this is a home run.
That's cute.
This is going all the way.
Oh, I like
I knew
that.
it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah. Pretty much me too.
The secret
Yeah.
for me, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, Christine's very patient. I mean, I'm like insane and just kind of like ambitious and run around and like
So someone who's grounded.
Christine's grounded. She's reasonable. She's calm.
Oh,
So it's like I think I pull her and she pulls me, and like
Yeah.
we really find balance in the middle. I don't
yeah.
like running around so much.
right.
Like I love a quick little thing, or like
Even
I
less
love.
now than you used to be.
Yeah, I like it less and less. I mean, I love like going to Argentina and like spending a couple weeks in one place recording, and like, but I don't like that Christine doesn't always come. But next time she'll be able to come. So I love that kind of travel.
Yeah.
But like touring, running around city to city, like I don't
Yeah.
love it. I've lost my. I mean, you know, I like it a little bit. It's not all bad. When I'm there, I have fun. Like I make it fun.
Yeah.
But
It's part of the
I don't
job.
know. It's just less.
Yeah, I mean, there's no separation from like work and yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're just
Oh.
sort of like you're on this time that isn't
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that became more of like you feel the opportunity cost of that. I think as
Yeah.
time goes on.
But I think you're right.
That's true.
Communication. Anytime it's been like, ooh, like it's like we talked about
about
it
it.
pretty quickly, and like
But it's interesting. I've found like just noticing like the only time we really bicker about anything is like when he's been gone too long or like gone a lot, and then we're just like just like off kilter.
What's the time? Like, how many days until it's like, all right, when are you coming home?
I mean, like a couple weeks.
Like 2 weeks? Like
2
10,
weeks is a
10
long time.
days?
2 weeks. I'm like over it.
So I've been taking a poll. I've been mostly been asking the females that are in partnerships. I'm like, what's the time where you're like, all right? Because the first week you're like, whew, yeah, this is nice. I got my space. I'm going to do my thing, my routine. And everyone's telling me 10 days. They're like 10 days. If they're not back yet, I'm like, all right, I either need to come out or you got to be coming home in a couple days.
Yeah. I mean, it depends too on like what my distraction level is, you know, like if I'm at home with my sister and their kids, it's like, okay, time's going by, whatever. I can, you know, but if I'm just home or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also
it also depends. Like sometimes we talk like a lot, like more inconsistently, but like maybe not a lot at all when you're gone. Sometimes we do keep in touch better. Like just depends on what's going on. So that changes things too, I think.
And I think it's not just how long, but how often that long. You know, 2 weeks every month.
Right.
Like that's gonna.
What are we talking about? That's
or even
a
a week every month. Eventually, that week is gonna be like an issue.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, it is interesting. We're always like trying to get the balance and stuff, and I think it's funny because we do have very different levels of like what feels right to us. Like even Paul's stripped down, modified, scaled back version is like too intense for me. So that's that's like a funny I don't know, thing to work out.
Yeah. I wonder, like...
I'm ultimately grateful that, like he said, there's somebody that's like pulling me along and being like, come on, like let's just...
Yeah, kind of gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit, and you ground him when he's kind of going.
Which I'm also grateful for.
Yeah,
but
that's
you know,
what I'm saying.
It sounds like sappy, but like I don't know, you did like Paul just like expanded my world. Like I didn't have international friends. I never went to Europe or South America, or well, I guess I went to Mexico. No,
that's not South America.
That's still North America.
North.
Have I been anywhere more south than that? No, I guess. No.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Uruguay. And
anyways, I hadn't done any of that until I got with
That's
Paul,
a big
like,
quality for me too. Like I always look for someone who like will expand my
push you a little.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really important to me. I feel like at the end of the day, when I'm on my deathbed, I want to feel like I expanded as far as I could. And like, you know, I'm an Aquarius rising. I don't know if that matters to anybody. I just have learned more about all this stuff, but I'm very open. I want to learn, and I also want to get to like the root of things. I want to like just really experience.
To the core.
Yeah. So like dating. So like when you're like, do you have a type? I'm like, it's really just like creatives, because they do, they're very interesting and expansive, and they travel, and it's like all of that. I really like that. So
might I suggest some unsolicited advice of adding a good sense of humor to the list? Because I mean, yes, ambition is great, but
make
like
me laugh.
Gotta be laughing.
I
through
love
things.
laughing. That is
Gotta
like
laugh.
the diffuser of all diffusers.
Yeah, like just cuts through so much tension.
I told
Whatever.
the last...
That's Christine's regret, is that I'm not funny. She's like, what I have learned is that I wish I had a funny guy.
Yeah, you're picking up on the subliminal.
No.
You're all right. You're all right.
And it all comes out here.
I like battling Paul, like, because I think you self-identify as a funny person, but like so do I. So I always, you know, I'm always kind of like
Christine's really funny.
trying to just like prove that I'm funny to Paul, because I know he's funny, but I'm like, you better know I'm funny.
Yeah, you better know why.
Boy, you better know I'm funny.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think your sense of humor is a little bit, it seems like it's a little more like it's real smart.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's just
Sometimes
like-
it is. Sometimes
It's
it
not.
isn't.
Christine's goof. She's a big
I
goof.
am a clown.
You know
clown.
who cracks me up? Jeff Specs.
Jeff's
funny
funny.
guy.
He cracks me up.
He's a funny guy.
We have like the most serious conversations.
Well, I think he's also single. I don't know, but
Oh, Jeff, I
artistic
know.
as
Well,
well.
we
he's an
have a
artsy,
pact.
creative type.
We've talked. No, I'm just kidding. I've always told Jeff, I'm like, hey, when we hit 40 and like, you know, maybe, but we'll have separate houses, and like, cause he's got a, you know, house, but you know.
That's good. Like, you know him so well. It's like you still have your own house.
I know him so well.
I'm not going to live with you, all right?
I love him so much. He's a
He's an
soulmate.
angel.
He's an actual soulmate.
Nice.
Actual
I love that
soulmate.
guy.
Yeah. God. Yeah. So,
Well, I hope he sees this.
he
have to tell
probably
him
will.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
To tune in.
We'll get it
to
to him.
minute
Yeah.
number 49.
Wow. How long do we go?
How far?
Usually like
do
an
we
hour
go?
or something.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I don't know. We can go as long as we want. I mean, the cameras will die eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
sometimes
there's an
we sit here
automatic,
and we
like,
have the beep.
it kind of gets, it ends when it ends. But,
Yeah.
but no, whatever. Okay,
So we covered dating.
well, so
Your
you're,
businesses.
we've been working together
been
because,
working
and
together. Yeah.
that started because we were just catching up, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to release some music soon. You're
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm just starting my own company.
know.
So what led you to that, where you're like, Michelle, it's time to start your own shit, like plant a seed and like start building your own shit. What
Yeah.
what was that Was there a moment?
Yeah.
Like what was that?
It was kind of a gradual moment, but like, yeah, I think I definitely burnt out on like working in the business because it felt really like cyclical and I don't know. I think I was just born to like go my own way.
You can go your own way.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I think I'm just an entrepreneur at heart, and I always like am looking for a different way to do things, or like, I don't know. I always scope creep. I always do more than I should. I just, so.
Scope creep?
Yeah, it's called scope creep.
Which is what?
Like when you are given like the scope of work you should be doing, but then like someone asks you to do like something outside of the scope. It's called a scope creep.
So you just keep creeping into other territory.
You go
Yeah,
outside
it's creeping.
the scope.
Yeah.
You creep into someone else's scope.
Someone's asking you to creep. They're creeping into your scope. They want you to do more than just your scope.
And you do that
all the time.
So when you're someone's employee, you do more than you're above and beyond
Above and
girl.
beyond. Above and beyond.
Admirable.
Yeah, and then I set a precedent that's like the norm, and then when I'm like, hey, it's like, well, that's what you always do though. It's like, oh, shit.
Right.
So
it's a good quality to have, but you can lack boundaries by doing that.
I'm actually a different person. Like, I think how I feel about like doing my own thing, it was really just like, all right, this is my record. This is me writing my own songs now. And not actually, but like working with you is a song, you know, and working with everybody else that I work with is a song, and it's my album. And like, I am putting it together, and it's really hard, but I have to be creative, and I have to be, strategic, and I have to, get all the pieces together, and it's just so fulfilling. And I think at the end of the day, I have to always ask myself, like, I get really existential. I think that's something to know about me. I've always been this way.
Okay.
When I was 4 years old, me and my sister shared a room, and she always would fall asleep so fast. And I'd be like, Natalie, you up? She was passed out. And I was always so like, dang, that must be nice. I'd be like doing yoga in bed before I knew what yoga was, just trying to like find a comforting spot or whatever. But then I would just like lay awake at night looking into the dark and being like, I am me. I am me. I am me. I am me. And I would like, I distinctly have these memories at night saying that to myself. And then it just got worse from there. No, it just like, so I go into this world of like, what's it all for? Like we're on this, we're on this planet. Like we're all in this era together on this planet. Like these are like, we're all family basically, because we're on this, in this time. And so for me, I'm just like, what's it for me? Where I'm like, what's going to make me like really, I don't want to take it for granted, my time here. And so I'm just like, what can I do that will leave a mark or that like legacy or something? It's not altruistic. It's also very ego driven, where I'm like, I want to be remembered. I want my blood to go on. And if I don't have a child, which is a possibility, then like I would like to be remembered for something, even though in 100 years, like no one's really remembered. I mean, we are, but No, but we're not. I mean, like, yeah. So I just want to leave like I just want to leave it a slightly better place than I found it. My mom always taught me that. She's like, wherever you go, whatever you do, just leave it better than you found it.
Girl Scouts honor.
Yeah. Well, she was never a Girl Scout, but she could have been. She worked at Dominic's in like the butcher department. She's like, and I left it. They would always say, Debbie must have been here yesterday because today it's super clean, And she always tell that story, and I was like,
good to take pride in what you do.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yeah.
Christine's like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like,
it
you
shows.
just have one name. You got to show up and like, I think for me, there was a switch because I got in so much like trouble and kind of felt like I was so bad in high school in a lot of ways. Like I kept just kind of making mistakes. And then it was sort of like when I got to college, I got this restart. And I was like, oh, I'll be turning in papers like under this name, like I have to try,
Wow.
So that helped.
You
me
got in
kind of,
trouble
like,
in high
switch-
school? Me too.
I got
Couple of bad girls here.
Yeah, bad girls club. I just was just generally, I think,
Yeah.
you know.
I didn't know
It's because
that.
you guys
Stirring
were
up some
cute, so you're
shit.
hanging out with the bad older boys.
Probably.
And the
Actually
older bad
true.
boys get you in trouble.
That is
Actually
kind of
true.
As
what
hot
happened.
as those bad old boys are,
They were
they'll get
cute.
you in trouble.
They were real cute.
Busted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So
But
funny.
you know, older siblings too, I think will also kind of do that to you, you know. But like I was like going to clubs and like drinking at like
Really?
young ages with my sisters or my family,
fun.
like with my mom. Sometimes I went
Yeah.
into like a nightclub in Chicago with my mom and sisters once. I remember my mom was like dancing like
That
a
sounds-
lunatic.
oh,
I mean, no,
sounds
she
fun.
was having fun,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was like, what am I doing here? I was
Yeah.
probably 16, like,
wow.
you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Just breaking
Mom, I have
rules.
homework.
Breaking rules, but it is interesting. Yeah, my dad was super strict and like didn't, you know, there's no like drinking allowed or whatever.
But your
Mom was
reputation was
show.
important. Your name.
Yeah,
This
that switched
pride
for
of-
me after
That's what it came
after
out
all
to be.
that, like, and just feeling this like just heavy with kind of shame, just being like shamed and like feeling uncomfortable, like that kind of changed my approach, where I no longer felt like it was like nerdy to try or like nerd out on things or like geek out, like you said. Just any
Yeah.
kind of passion is good to have, and
Yeah.
it just
Wow.
I don't know, you just
That's exactly how I felt like moving into the business, like really being somebody that like went full on my Instagram, for example. Like I was like, this is going to be such a nerdy Instagram now. All I'm going to do is talk about like how to release your record. But I'm like, I love that too. It's like not nerdy to try anymore.
No.
It's like cool.
I
To
agree.
just get in there and try it.
You're like giving a fuck.
Yeah,
It's
giving
cool.
a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a cop out to be like,
Yeah.
what, you're working hard? Like,
Yeah.
people kind of like try to pick on that.
Yeah.
But it's like their own insecurity.
Yeah. I had to not give a fuck to give a fuck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like a muscle you have to
I think
train.
we have the title of our episode right
There
there.
we go.
But yeah, it's a lot.
It's
Like,
a muscle. Like it's not like a one and done thing where you're just like, oh, all of a sudden I'm no longer gonna give a fuck.
Right.
It's something you have to
True.
actively do all the time. Of
Yeah.
like, you know, just.
Yeah.
I have a line in one of our songs. It's a whole lot easier to make the soup or leave a review than it is to make the soup.
Ooh, love
And
that.
it's just all about,
Yeah.
you know,
It
the
is.
soup Nazi. No, I'm kidding. But
Right. No, but like,
but like
you
this
go
idea,
do it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
like you know, it's
Yeah.
easy to be like, I don't like that, whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's what it was all about, was like making the soup and just like getting in there and also doing something that I could prove to myself again, like, oh, I can do things. Like I can actually
do hard things.
Yeah, I can do hard things and I can be good at it too. And like nobody can project onto me their bullshit anymore, like, because I know I can. And I think that was like a big thing for me. I think as the farther away we get from the womb, the like more life beats us down and the more we take on other people's like, you know, baggage. Yeah. I mean, we're soft bodies. Like we take in, if we hear, we don't realize this. And I'm kind of going into some psychology here because I'm
Go on. I
obsessed
like
with it and like, you know, spent COVID getting an education in it. But it's just really
Congratulations,
interesting.
by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm not doing
your
anything.
MBA in what was it?
I actually didn't get an MBA.
Okay.
I got master's in marriage and family therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Because I thought that would be a nice thing to have.
To fall back on. You're such
just
a
get my
people person.
master.
You're like, I'll just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
I
know
mean, there's
what?
so much psychology in what you do.
And music.
Yeah.
There
I mean, there's
is.
psychology in what everybody does
Yes.
every
Yes.
day, all the time. So to
You
understand
could probably
what people are
move to
going
LA
through.
and like immediately work with people in the industry and like help them, their
Well,
families.
I had
and
thoughts
offer
of
that
what I-
perspective.
yeah,
of
I
like
mean-
knowing both realms.
Yes. Yes. Actually, what I really wanted to do it's actually really hard to do this, but I wanted to be like a touring therapist. Like I wanted to go on a big tour and be, you know, the coach or the therapist for like the
Like a
people.
counselor.
Yeah, because like a touring artist and their crew, it's an island and there's a lot of people. It's like a mini city island that's just like touring everywhere. And there's
Makes and
interpersonal.
breaks.
Yeah,
bands.
it's like it's like if the drummer is frustrated with their drum tech, you know, there might be some issues. And so it's like, well, let's figure that out and like have
Sure.
some harmony. But that's a lot harder than you can't. Yeah, there's a lot of things that make it hard to actually do that. But I could go out as a life coach and do that. I've always thought about that. I think getting the master's in therapy was really more of a retirement plan because I think that's one of the careers that gets better with age. So I'm pretty excited about what that holds for my future. But for now, I just use it. I just like embody it in the work that I do with artists that I'm working with on the business side, because I still love business. I love business.
Well, you don't have to be in one box. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome that you're like trying and you're weaving multiple pathways and lots of options, and
definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
I used to think that like the 20s is like when everybody figured it out, but now I'm like, oh no, we still got our 30s. We're still
the 30s.
Rebranding, reworking, just changing
guys,
it up.
We'll be 50 and we'll say, man, I used to think it was the 30s.
I know,
but
but
it's the
that's
50s. Actually, this is the best time of my life.
That's like the cruel thing of life, you know? It's just you feel so old in your 20s and then again in your 30s, but it's like you look back and like you said, you're like, oh, just still a baby, like in my...
Yeah.
But
did you guys like your 20s?
Yeah.
You did?
Some highs and
I've liked
lows.
everything.
Highs and lows.
Yeah.
Even falling off a roof, I didn't mind it.
I
liked
believe
it all.
that.
I've enjoyed.
terrible.
I've had lows,
Yeah.
certainly. Bad relationships, things like that. That kind of really like were
it-
tormenting
yeah.
me at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But overall,
I love my 30s more than my 20s.
same. My life has gotten better and better.
So much better.
Yeah.
This is such a better decade.
Being an
for
adult
me.
rules.
Yeah. 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 Because now, like, I can just valet whenever I want.
Yeah.
That's a perk.
LA has taught me that the power of like just throwing money at things just for the
this is
pleasure
nice.
of it. Not the pleasure, like the like I never would do that before. I'd be like,
No.
we should park 10 blocks away and,
And
walk.
walk.
Who wants to pay $30?
Yeah.
But it's like,
It's like, fuck it, let's Uber so we don't
Yeah.
have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
but after a while, when you're just like in the kind of rat race that is LA, you're just like willing to pay for convenience. I
Yeah.
never understood that
I
before.
valeted last night at the Troubadour. It wasn't at the Troubadour, but I was like, my girlfriend called me. We were meeting up. She's like, yeah, let's just like we'll grab a bite and then, but like, let's just valet. And I was like, yes, girl, like let's valet. I'm glad she scoped it out, because I was like, I'm
So you
not
rented
really.
a car here?
I actually, so thankful to my friends, Royce and Lilia. I'm pet sitting for them, and I get to live in their beautiful home and drive their car, and it's just been amazing. They're on
Sick.
tour right now. They're awesome. And so I feel like I live here right now.
That's cool. How long
been
are you here?
awesome. I'll be here till the 20th, and that'll be a total of 12 days that I've been here. Like
Nice.
up to that point. Yeah, which I feel like is a good.
Is this the most time you spent in LA?
It is.
And when you showed up, you're like, you've been feeling at home, you said.
I do. It's crazy. I'm like, but there's also a part of me that could kind of be at home anywhere. So
I relate to that.
Yeah.
But LA is nice.
Yeah.
It took me a long time
Really? How long?
to like LA.
Yeah.
Probably at least a year. But
Oh,
that
a
was
year?
also
That's
yeah.
not that long.
It wasn't that long.
It takes people like 5 years to like Nashville. I'm like, just wait.
Stick it out.
I'm done. I'm going on 15 years there.
It's a long time.
I've gone, didn't like it for 5 years, loved it, didn't like it again for 5 years, loved it, didn't like it again for 5 years, loved it. That's crazy. It's a long-term
It's
relationship.
a wildly
Yeah, wow.
changing city.
Ebb and
That's so
flow.
cool.
It is wildly changing, and it is really interesting to live somewhere for that long.
I haven't given any one place that much time.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones.
Except
couple
for
of Rolling Stones.
Yeah. Except for Chicago, we lived there for 18 years.
Well, yeah, sure. We grew up there.
Do you guys remember that just being like gray and hair was static all the time?
Didn't love
And it
it.
was like kind of wet cold all the
Yeah,
time.
or like
Sure.
that feeling
Remember the
when
wet
you would
coat?
just like walk in and get the
school.
puddles like up
Yeah.
the back of your legs.
Yeah.
I was wearing a lot of bell bottoms at the time. It would just
Yeah.
like creep up the back and
Yeah.
you'd have like cold, wet feet.
Yeah.
3 periods.
Yeah.
But you also remember like walking outside after school one day and you can smell like spring is coming.
Yeah.
Like, spring is here. Like, oh, wow.
That moment
like,
felt good. I was like, oh, thank God.
It starts to
Give me a
Summers
daffodil.
feels so
I
good.
need a daffodil or else I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Like I hated winter so much.
Yeah,
Wow.
and like, oh, okay, wow. So we got like 2 months left of school and then
Yeah.
summers
Yeah.
and like.
Did you guys do sleepaway camp?
Never. Wow, I did one. I did a Christian camp
Oh.
for a week. And I
Yeah.
cried every night. I like fought a kid. Like it was a mess. There was one time where
I was like, what do I got to do to get sent home?
Oh
I,
my
like-
God.
you know, I'm used to just like it's summer, like I'm just gonna live my life. So I like wandered off and like started hanging out with some other people and like alarms start going off. Like I, like my counselor, like I was missing, it was like a big
no.
deal.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it was not for
You
me.
were missing.
I was missing, but I was like, guys, I fucking right here. I came to the fucking like concessions, like I'm getting
Yeah.
a Slim Jim. Like
You're like, I live my own life.
yeah, I don't know what you want from me. What would Jesus do? But anyway, did you go to sleepaway camp?
No, I didn't, but I had a lot of friends that did.
Yeah.
So it was like an exodus every summer.
Seriously.
And then I'd have to kind of
Quiet.
like
Cicada summer,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
The cicadas.
Yeah.
No, me either. I would always go see my mom over the summer, so I
Yeah.
got out of town. But
Where was she?
it kind of changed from
okay.
time to time. But San Diego,
Oh, yeah. I remember you were a Cali girl.
and then
kinda.
Bullhead City, Arizona for a while,
Oh, okay.
and then Palm Springs.
Oh,
for
nice.
Most of the time, I think the most time.
Palm Springs is making a comeback, I feel like. I don't know if it ever needed to make a
I
comeback.
don't know, but it's a dope spot.
I'm
Palm Springs
excited
is
about it.
fun.
I want to go.
Oh, you'd love it.
I want to go to Palm Springs. I feel like it's really colorful right now for some reason.
It's probably hot as fuck right now.
Yeah, you don't want to go
Yeah.
right now.
Not right now. Okay.
But it's like you kind of go back in time a little bit because there's so many mid-century homes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like
Yeah.
going into like a nice cocktail bar.
Yeah.
It's really.
I want to stay at
good
the
vibe.
Trixie Motel.
Okay.
Have you heard of Trixie Motel?
No,
No,
I don't
sounds-
know
I
what that
watched
one
the
is.
whole series
Scandalous.
of them. No, it's not. It's a drag queen diva. Awesome,
Oh,
Trixie, and she and her partner basically remodeled this really cool motel,
Cute.
and it's like vibrant and fun, and I don't know.
There's so many fun
I
places
fell in
to
love with
stay.
Trixie, and I was like, I want to go stay there, and then it was
Nice.
in Palm Springs, so I was
Nice.
like, oh, this looks like fun.
It's a
yeah,
cool spot.
it's lovely like in the winter too when it's 75 degrees during the day and you can actually be outside like all day.
That sounds so
And
nice.
then, at night it might get down to like 45, but you're in and out of the hot tub
Yeah.
and you're just in the house
Yeah.
and it's pretty
Yeah.
nice.
Grilling it up.
I
Yeah.
spent a couple Christmases like that. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad. I'm like looking at snow on the mountain, but still in a hot tub, It's
That
just pleasant.
is nice.
It's a fun place.
We did a trip, the two of us and Jordan Lipschitz, to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And
Really?
it was the bomb.
Wow.
fun.
We
Dale
ate
was
such
there
good
too.
food.
Dale,
Yeah, Dale was with us.
there.
Dale's
I love
cute.
Dale.
Forgot Dale was there.
He was there.
Did he
He was
fly?
having a
Sweet
great
tea.
time. He did. Yeah, he shoved him under the little seat. And
Dale's
just,
perfect size.
Yeah, he
Dale
was.
is
He's a
actually one
carry-on.
of my favorite dogs.
Dale's a
He's a
great
good one.
dog.
Dale came down to hang out.
Chicken.
Yeah, Dale.
Triggered.
Dale and Dale, Jordan, and Jeff came to visit me.
Oh, Dale
2
brought
summers
Jordan and
ago.
Jeff.
Yeah, and that was like the best. I
Yeah,
was
I
so
was
honored
jealous of
they
that trip.
came, and Dale and Luna got along really well. It was really cute. It was so cute. I love it. I love dogs.
They're the best.
I love
I
dogs.
know.
But are you guys gonna get a dog?
So like we
gotta
lose a lot
see.
of freedom
We
when
gotta
once we
see.
own a dog. You know?
Well, I'm here for 2 weeks, and I feel free. I have a dog.
But
You
can
make
you
it
go to
work.
Argentina for a month right now?
Well,
What's gonna happen to that dog?
What you gonna? No, I couldn't do that.
know?
But what you could do is either make really good friends with your neighbors, or, fly the dog to Chicago. It'd
Yeah.
be part of the trip.
Anyway.
It'd be a lot.
We love dogs.
Yeah.
We would like a dog.
Yeah.
It's just kind of we
My-
travel so
I
much.
know.
But if we find a
My
situation
sister
where
just rescued a new one,
Yeah.
a boxer, and he's so
Oh.
cute. I just fell in love with him. Met him the first time when I was back in the Midwest, and
Yeah.
Larry, he's
Larry.
so cute.
Yeah.
I was like, he had a rough go. Like he, stumbled onto somebody's back deck and
Yeah.
basically had escaped from his situation finally, and
Wow.
had collars wrapped in in his skin, and a poor guy. But I was like,
Jeez,
it's
that
not true.
sounds-
I had a talk. I was like, it's not your fault, buddy. You didn't deserve that. I was saying all these nice things.
That's
They
so
shouldn't
nice.
have done that to you.
Yeah.
That's so mean. I was just
Yeah.
naming it all.
Aw.
And he was following me around.
Yeah.
In
He
my
knows.
lap the whole time. I'm like, I got you, buddy.
He knows.
But
He
it's
gets
just
it.
so sad. I don't know. I want a dog. I want to save a dog from that situation. But
Yeah. Yeah. So in Tucson, if we meet someone who's like, anytime you're out of town, I got
Yeah,
you. I'll
yeah.
watch your dog.
But
Then
we
it's like,
gotta
great.
figure
We
that
love
out.
a dog. But
Yeah.
we figure we're going to lose a lot of freedom
Yeah.
when we have children,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So we've always kind of said, maybe that's a good time to just also get a
Yeah.
dog and lose all the freedom at once.
Yeah.
But we'll see how
when,
it goes.
When are the kids coming? When is that happening?
I don't
Anytime.
know. Anytime.
Really? Really?
Sure.
So we're like,
We're about it.
we're about it.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
starting? Just
We're into
just
it.
free, open, maybe.
We pulled the goalies. All goalies are out.
Goalies are out.
Goalies are out, and
Amazing.
we're taking shots at the goal. We're seeing what.
Guys, This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of,
Oh my God. This is going to be a tall child.
Probably, yeah.
It's going to be a tall baby. Tall baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Could be.
I always wonder, I'm like, man, babies look good on me when they're like 3 to 6 months. But after that, they get so big. I'm like, oh. They're like
you get a little
half my
top
size
heavy.
already.
Yeah. You just look like you just chip over.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was holding my friend's baby the other day, and she's only like 3.5, but she's literally half my size already. I'm like, okay. Yeah. She's like, how cute is this picture? I'm like, literally looks like she's a giant. I'm holding a giant.
Funny. Are you at a point where, like, if you do meet someone or anything like that, are you like, is this the father of my children? Does that go through your head? Like, because that's kind of part of
Totally.
your 30s is like,
Yeah,
it's not just like,
It
oh,
is.
this will be fun. It's like,
it is.
are you a dad?
Yeah, it does go through my head for sure. And like, I'm definitely not, I don't just want to have a kid to have one. Like, people have asked me lately, they're like, well, you can have one without him. And I'm like, what? No, I'm not. No judgment to people that want to do that. But for me, I'm like such a collaborator. I would love to have a partner.
Let's
in
collab
this.
on a kid.
Let's collab.
That's funny.
It's a team
It's
effort.
a team effort. I just don't want to do it alone. So it ran through my mind. I was like, well, I mean, because being a single parent could happen for sure. A lot of people are single parents, and I think it would just be the best to raise a kid in like a commune of my best friends too. Like, I would be totally happy with that as well. But it would have to be like a community for sure. But yeah, no, there's really, I try not to put pressure on it, but I would like to have at least one child, 2 at the most. But one, I'm good with just one. I'd be fine with that. And it would be like a beautiful thing to have a child. And I think as a woman, it would be really amazing to like experience like the full extent, like pushing my body to the boundary of that. Like, have a kid. That's crazy.
It's really, it's magic.
That is magic.
It's wild.
Do you know about Ina May?
No.
Ina May is really interesting.
Like Dragon Ball Z? Anime?
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Continue.
That's good though.
I'll let myself out. I should go.
I think you should leave. But it's she's amazing. She came from California, and she like had these caravans of pregnant women that wanted to have natural births. And so they all drove to Tennessee, and they landed in Summertown, Tennessee. And there's a lot of people that live in Nashville from Summertown, Tennessee, and they're always like the chillest people. But basically, Summertown, Tennessee is where they have the most natural births in the country. And I got really, we all get into weird shit over COVID, right? We all did that. So we got into some weird stuff, right? Well, mine wasn't like that weird, but I got really into like natural births. I had no reason to. I mean, I didn't, but
Time was the reason.
It was time.
Extra time on our
I even
hands.
got so far in, I like studied to be a doula.
I can see that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so magical.
Doula was in your Instagram
Yeah, I
for a
was gonna
while.
I was
say.
peace doula.
Peace doula,
Peace
right.
doula.
But that's before COVID.
That was before COVID. So doula has been in my life.
Kind of
for a
got a
while. Somebody
doula
called
vibe.
me a peace doula, and I was like, wow, that's really nice.
That is nice.
And now I'm a music doula. I
Yeah.
birth your babies.
Beautiful.
It's true.
Not I don't birth them. I help you birth them. I help you birth. I'm the midwife.
There you go.
That's kind of what a
Of
doula
your
is,
music
though, right?
babe,
Like the
yes.
doula doesn't give birth.
No. And doulas aren't midwives, but Ina May trained a bunch of midwives, and then out of that, like doulas and stuff. And it's just like she basically showed people that giving birth doesn't have to be so scary, and the process can be actually like really great. And it really changed my perspective. And then after I read that, I was like, okay, I want to experience that. I would like to try.
So a natural birth is not going to a hospital, doing it
Yeah.
at home
Yeah, or at a birthing center.
or at a birthing center.
Mm-hmm.
No epidural.
No. And there's some really kinky techniques. Like, she's like pretty straight. Like, she's
Kinky?
busy.
What do you
Like,
mean
she's
by
just business. Like, she's in the business of delivering babies in the best way and taking care of the mothers. But like, there's some kink. Like,
What do you mean by kink?
like you like
sexual?
masturbate
Yeah.
while you're delivering, like
Oh.
your labor,
or like, yeah,
well, like
you-
you're dilate faster,
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
that is
yeah,
kinda
like if
Just
you're having
natural
trouble
things.
dilating, or like you're having trouble, she'll be like, well, have sex with your partner, and yeah, and like
Get you
get that
further along.
going, or like have them sit behind you and like tweak your boobs or something, and like feel
Hmm.
good, make out with them, like just get nasty and have fun and relax and do whatever that takes. And
So
we should look into this.
It's crazy that in this country, if we had midwives, like our maternal mortality rate would like go down so much.
Well,
but it's not really covered by insurance, and it's kind of shunned as like woo woo instead of actually just being.
Yeah. I had to do, as part of like becoming a doula,
around.
I had to like call the different hospitals and ask about their cesarean rates, and they're very high. Mm-hmm. So like if you are looking to have a baby in a hospital, you know, I would ask about their cesarean rates, because that will give you an indication of like how trigger happy they are to just be like, all right, C-section, you know, and that's a surgery. That's fun. And look, I'm a C-section baby.
Same.
We're good. Everybody's good. I think our parents, it was like very high, like C-sections were happening. But
it's gnarly. We've talked about it before. It's like the healing process. It's like
surgery.
ripping your gut open.
Yeah.
All your muscles, every muscle, and like
we were
the
talking
recovery time.
Yeah.
We were talking to a guy the
terrible.
other day who said he once saw a doctor. He works in a hospital. He said I saw a doctor like call for a C-section because she wanted to go to like lunch on time. Like she wanted to get out of there.
So
this is something that
waiting
happens because there's schedule. There's a schedule for sure. And if you want your doctor and they're available at this time, then plan it. You know, and I think that's great for a lot of people, and I think it's great for people that like need to get
we even induce that way too. People schedule their induction,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, they do.
Even if you're gonna push, you still schedule it like at a time.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think they give you like
and
progesterone or something.
Yeah, they start it like not naturally, just based off of their convenience and their scheduling.
The whole business of women's health is fascinating to me. It's fascinating. It's so expensive, and it's so far behind, and it's like massive surgery, and it's just like the things we endure, it's crazy. And then the things we can do, the things we achieve, like even with all of that, I'm just like, wow, women are
Even
just
with lead and arsenic up our hoo-ha in our bloodstream. I know.
I'm just so fascinated with women. I love women so much. I'm so here.
It's amazing.
That.
I mean, yeah, what your just body can do.
God, it's
is
amazing.
Incredible. Even like, you know, when the baby touches the nipple, you read what he needs, he or she needs, and you start generating that through your boobs. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I know. It's a whole
there's
communication.
nothing close to that I can
I know.
do.
How does that feel that you don't have that?
Well, you know, we still run the world, so it feels kind of good.
Yeah, there it is. That's great.
That's why we took
True.
all that other power, because we just were kind of insecure about it.
Yeah.
You know? No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
As
mean,
you should
it's,
be.
I feel grateful to women.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like we're all helping each other out.
Yeah,
I
we
think
are.
I do what I can as a man, and
You're a
Christine
good
does
man.
what she can as a woman. You
There
know?
are good men for sure. I love men too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that somewhere along the lines, the women's movement just went it just didn't work. It just didn't work. You know, I think we scared men, and like, I don't want to scare men, and I still want them to feel in their power. I still want them to like show up and, you know, all of these things. It's just really interesting, especially like kind of coming back to the dating world. Like, it's really interesting how things are, you know, like they don't really advance you. They don't really approach you. But I'm somebody that likes to be advanced and approached, you know? So it's like, I just start to think they don't like me or something, you know? It's like an opposite effect. And it's really, so now everybody's just like communicating everything that they like very outwardly. And then there's no mystery anymore. And it's just like,
Sure.
you know, but I love working with men. I love supporting men. I love like, you know, but I think it works the best when there's an equal share of that power, and there's a equal like support and admiration on both sides. And that definitely exists. And like all the men that I get to work with right now, I love, and they're so supportive. And I'm wondering like what the link is. I think that's men that are just like emotionally attuned in whatever capacity. They just like have access to their emotional side,
A higher version of themselves.
yeah, they're more like evolved, at least, yeah, in that way. And it's really, so I feel safe. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Let's put some records out.
Let's put
You're
some records
definitely
out.
good at bringing people together.
Am I?
I think so.
You threw some great
Bringing
parties in high school.
around-
Wait,
Yeah.
I did.
No, I don't know. I remember at least
Did
one.
in my basement?
I think I did at least one.
Do you remember the
One
graffiti
comes to
wall?
mind, at least for me too.
Yeah. Do you remember
lots
the pool?
of hats? Lots of
Oh
hats.
my
Yeah, all the hats. Yeah.
I really wish we had those hats still. Those
Where
would
them
be
hats at?
vintage by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were probably vintage then.
Remember they were.
were.
A lot of them were. Do you remember the graffiti wall
Yeah, you could like draw on it and stuff. Yeah.
and the pool table? That was a fun basement.
A solid basement.
It was a fun basement.
Solid Midwest basement.
It
right
really,
there.
right.
Yeah.
It was.
What a time.
Yeah, I mean, we're really lucky. Like our childhood was pretty.
It was pretty good.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We could just like run around outside and like ride bikes to school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever ride bikes to like Crusoe?
Of course.
Yeah.
I rode my bike everywhere.
I've been to
all the
Wilmot.
time.
You
Oddly
did?
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
to Wilmot.
I used to ride my bike on Deerfield Road.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, where
I
the
know, I did
sidewalk
sketchy stuff too.
is this like this. It's like sidewalk curb street.
Right.
And then like the hedge is like right on the sidewalk. There's no space.
Right. Not a lot of room for error.
No.
I would cross the freeway and go from Caruso to Thorngate, which is just like all those streets.
know what you're
There's no
talking about.
crosswalks. Like it's not for you.
so-
It's not for
I would
pedestrians.
cross the freeway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Just
walk
kids.
to DHS and like, take a shortcut and like cross the train tracks, like not at a crossing. It
Yeah.
always felt kind of country,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
kinda-
Remember Mike's Subs? Was it Mike's?
Tony's.
Tony's.
Tony.
Tony.
Subs.
Yeah, Tony Subs was kind of okay.
No?
No, it's no
I
mean,
Potbelly.
at
To me, it's
one-
all hype. You hear that, Tony?
Whoa.
You suck.
Oh, Tony.
I try to be controversial on the podcast.
Yeah.
I gotta get one clip.
Tony, you suck.
Oh
You're
my
not
God.
good.
Potbelly.
Your bread is too chewy.
Oh
No,
my
no.
God. I feel like Potbelly was where you took someone that like you didn't really want to be seen with because it was like kind of dark in there and it was almost like remember
Yeah.
when they would put the musician up at the very top on this like
you'd have
rickety
Luke
ledge.
Wygodny up there singing
It's
his
like a
drum ear
bump.
songs.
Luke Wygodny.
And like, you
He's
could
still
hide
going.
in the booth.
Luke is doing great stuff. I see Luke. He's doing
Fuck
great
yeah.
stuff in upstate New York.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm not
Heartstrings
surprised.
Project. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's great. It's so
Talented
great.
guy.
Yeah, he really is. He is. I know. So good.
Yeah, man, it's good. Good life.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad
It's
we're
a
all
good
still
life.
friends. Isn't this kind of fun?
Me too.
It
Thank
is
you
a
guys.
trip.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming.
On the podcast.
Yeah, what a treat.
Yes. What a
This
treat.
is great. Like I'm honored to be on it.
And you're gonna have your own podcast soon. Too.
Yes, yes,
So that'll
I-
be exciting.
Yeah. It's called She Speaks Now. And I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be all things women centered. It'll be one of the many things that I do for sure.
Yeah.
So
Good.
it's just an
Well,
outlet.
my advice when you do it, just
Keep going.
keep
just
going.
keep going.
This is episode 100 and like
swimming.
10,
Get out.
maybe
How do
110.
you have so many people to interview? You just
Some have been multiple, but yeah, you
Yeah.
know, you just do whatever. And some we've done just the two of us.
yeah.
But like you just have to keep
Those are so
going.
fun.
It
I'm
probably
sure
will
your
take
phone,
like,
your phone contact list is
It's
not
gonna-
Yeah, you
gonna
got
run
plenty.
out.
I think
You got
you're
plenty.
probably right.
but just keep going. It takes like probably 250 episodes to even get anywhere.
Okay,
you know?
good
Like,
advice. Yeah.
Have like a really long term
Yeah.
goal because
Okay.
otherwise you'll stop. Most podcasts don't make it past 3 episodes.
Really? Wow.
Vast majority.
Wow. Really
So,
good
yeah.
to know this. Thank you.
So like, don't even care about the performance. Just like,
Yeah,
let's
just
just do
talk.
100 episodes.
Yeah.
Let's make 100.
It's like 100. That's 100 hours.
It's 100 hours.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And that's 2 years. If you do one a week, that's 2 years. You know, like it takes a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep going and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then like,
Okay.
I don't know.
There's a lot to talk about.
Maybe someone with a more successful podcast would have different advice. But that's my advice.
Yeah, that's like our next step. We're like, how can we make money off of this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready now
That's
to
the
like
goal.
let's think
So make a
about
little
monetizing
thumb.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you could do it sooner, fucking do
Okay.
it.
Well, we should figure that out, guys.
We should figure that out.
We should figure it out.
Well, we were thinking like so
Call me.
like 50 people listen to the full episode, but like 10,000 people watch the clips, you know?
Nice, yeah.
So I want to
The
put an
conversion.
advertiser on the clips somehow.
Probably.
And I just want to figure out a way to do that without losing the viewership of the clips. But yeah, if we can get an
Yeah.
advertiser in the clips,
Yeah.
10,000 eyeballs a week,
Yeah.
that's got to be worth something to somebody.
If you can convert 1%
Yeah.
of them every like clip that you're advertising.
So
Okay.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But if you can help,
Some
we'll take
numbers
it.
to
I think I
crunch, guys.
probably could.
Crunching.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love you, Michelle.
Love
Yes,
you. Love you, Michelle.
Thanks for being here.
Michelle
guys.
Garramone. Oh my God.
At Michelle Garramone? No.
No.
It's Hey Michelle Garramone.
Hey, Michelle Garramone.
Mm-hmm.
Find her. It'll be in the description, obviously. And look at that, hour 20.
Wow. Hopefully we can edit it down to.
We don't edit it down.
None.
I'll cut out the racist things you said.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna hear. If you didn't hear anything racist, she said some crazy things, but I cut it out.
Oh.
No. I mean, unless you want something cut out, I'm not gonna cut
to
it out.
clarify, I do know Mexico is in North America. I'd like
Yeah.
that noted.
That's noted.
Great. Anything
Definitely
else
noted.
anyone wants to say? No. All right.
No.
Anyway.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Good night, everybody.
Good afternoon. Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Good.
That was so fun.